Welcome back to Shogun's Base. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss our latest content. Today, we're diving into the fascinating and mysterious world of Tower of God to explore one of its most intriguing entities, the Workshop. The Workshop, also known as the Workshop Battle, is an essential part of the Tower of God universe. It's a renowned organization responsible for creating some of the most powerful and innovative items and weapons in the tower. Whether you're a seasoned fan or just starting your climb, we're here to break down everything you need to know about the Workshop and its impact on the story. So, what exactly is the Workshop? At its core, the Workshop is a conglomerate of brilliant scientists, engineers, and craftsmen dedicated to pushing the boundaries of technology and craftsmanship within the tower. Their creations range from advanced weapons and armor to unique items that can influence the very nature of the tower's challenges. The Workshop, pronounced Gongbang, literally meaning workshop, also referred as the Creation Room, the Blacksmiths, the Factory, or Gongbang, is an organization founded within the tower by the great Father Maxeth. White Ore is the only sword made by Maxeth, and it is owned by Ari Honorable White, or is known as the only S+ rank weapon inside the tower. Warriors in the tower say the well-edged weapon is like an oarfish because of this. Maxeth stopped producing weapons after creating White Ore. The name of the sword is from Oarfish, a legendary white steel eel. So far, the White Ore is the tower's most powerful weapon. Maxeth stopped crafting weapons. It is unknown why, or if he kept creating other objects such as pockets. According to Maxeth, it also exists outside the tower, and no one knows its origin. Its ultimate ambition is to find the order and reason of all creation in the world, and by doing so, to know how to recreate all such creation and with that, become a god of all creation. The knowledge of the Workshop cannot be given to an outsider, and this is the absolute law of the Workshop. If one leaves the group, their knowledge, by law, will be sealed. The Workshop only creates items for one who is worthy. This law is often applied even to Zahard and the 10 great families. The Workshop can be found in the middle area of each floor. From there, they perform the role of providing items to people who they deem worthy enough. A regular who has climbed many floors has better chances of receiving an item than one who has climbed fewer. The same applies for rankers. The higher the ranking, the better the chances. Almost all items of the tower are made here. Although there's a location on each floor, there are only 7 headquarters, and one of them is on the 30th floor. Once every 5 years, this particular workshop on the 30th floor gathers E-rank regulars and holds an item tournament called the Workshop Battle 30F. Other workshop battles are held on higher floors. Ranks within the Workshop. There are presumably 5 ranks within the Workshop: Great Father, Father, Great Teacher, Teacher, and Disciple. Great Father. The highest rank is that of the Great Father. It is currently occupied by the founder of the tower's Gongbang, Maxeth. Father. There is one known father who is one of the tower's lords, Flux, and he was the first disciple of Maxeth. Like all the other fathers of the factory, Flux is an artificial organism created by Maxeth. One can view him as equal or slightly above the 4 children who might also be fathers. Note, it seems that fathers can also serve as great teachers. However, it doesn't seem like they're equal or the same, as Flux seems to be a father, despite being out of the group. Great Teacher. There are currently 4 known great teachers: Max, Mai, Mad, and May. Each of them is an artificial life form created by Maxeth. They are considered his children. They are not given a ranking by the Ranking Administration Office because of their relationship with the Workshop. Their fighting capabilities are judged to be of S level, comparable to high rankers. According to rumor, each of the 4 possesses a different personality and knowledge. And one of them, contrary to his title of Great Teacher, is a very mischievous prankster. And it seems that most or all fathers are also great teachers. However, Flux is not a great teacher because he holds one of the Lord's seats, and it can be seen that he is out of the Workshop. One can view him as equal or slightly above the 4 children who might also be fathers. Among their functions, one of them is to serve as the head of a workshop battle. Teacher. The title of teacher is self-explanatory. However, it has to be noted that their influence within the tower is enormous. Disciple. Disciples are chosen by the teachers of the Workshop. They formally become one after a set period of training. As their position and title rises within the group, a disciple enjoys benefits rivaling those enjoyed by rankers. In special cases, a disciple may be chosen to be a regular. However, he will be expelled from the workshop and their knowledge sealed by law. The only known exception so far is Flux. On the other hand, there also have been cases where a ranker became a disciple. Such a person is not expelled from the rankings, so it is possible to be both a ranker and a disciple provided you became a ranker first. Influence within the tower. The workshop is an independent organization not ruled by Zahard and is completely independent. One may think that this kind of existence may threaten the power and balance of the tower's rulers, but this is not the case. This is because the workshop have absolutely no interest in the tower's power struggles and politics. This is despite the fact Maxeth is affiliated with Zahard and the Great Warriors and is the creator of Flux, one of the Three Lords. Due to their unparalleled mastery of science and weapon engineering, the workshop, if not for their complete disinterest in the tower's power struggles and politics, is strong enough to be a threat to Zahard's empire as stated by Kunhind Luch. When a test administrator of a floor created a commotion with the workshop, an attending teacher completely humiliated him. The ruler of the floor himself came to ask for forgiveness from the teacher after the news reached him. The workshop's departments and their creations. The workshop has several departments within it that work on separate projects, which may individually be associated with different organizations and factions. The only two known workshops at the moment is Acorn and Pine Workshop, with the other creations being from unknown workshop or not affiliated with any specific workshop. Acorn Workshop. Living ignition weapons. A experiment carried by a group of researchers that allied with FUG. Since a long time ago, the workshop's researchers have been using abandoned children from the middle area to perform human experiments in order to create living ignition weapons. There are 4 currently known living ignition weapons: Kong Horiang and Beniamino Kasano. The first living ignition weapons in the tower. They were subjects who had half of a devil placed into each of their bodies in order to successfully complete the Einital research. Emil, the second known successful living ignition weapon. Although humanoid first, Emily was used as the test subject on the second part of the project, and after being fused with a devil, she was melted in order to prove the efficacy of the boiling acid. After that, her remaining self was used to create the Emil app. It is unknown as to what will happen once Emil undergoes ignition. Beta, a new generation experiment on the living ignition weapon project that contained many different imperfect devils inside him. At difference of the previous test subjects, Beta was created in a project not related to FUG. Jui Violgrace, the complete version of the living ignition project. He was perfected after the events of the workshop battle. Boiling acid, a mysterious substance made from a material which only the workshop knows about. It is capable of fully dissolving a regular's body, and FUG has repeatedly tried to use this to melt Juviolgrace into Enryu's Thorn. Pine Workshop. Beastkins with the Lopu Bia family's backing and funding. Specifically on Lopu Bia Tremiriai's request, the workshop began the project of creating animal/human hybrids. By taking in various orphans from the tower, the workshop successfully created a variety of different animal-human hybrids, and after numerous tests, where they primarily had the hybrids fight amongst each other to ensure only the strongest survived, released them to the tower in order to become regulars. After the Beastkins successfully became rankers, they were then forced to join the Lopobia family due to them being their property, due to having originally been the ones to fund and start the project to make them. The Beastkins created by the project in turn would create their own individual subraces, such as the canines and felines races created by Baylord Wong Wong and Lopu Bia Yazracha. Unknown workshops or unaffiliated. 13-month series. Ashel Edwaru received special materials, ores, substances from Zahard, which were then used to create the 13-month series. Archimedes, also referred to as Archie, one of the 5 great floating ships of the workshop. It's famous for having a beautiful body despite its enormous size. The huge ship is currently on the 30th floor and was the location of the most recent workshop battle. Blood Tamara, an item created by the workshop researcher Punk as a reward for being the first to shoot an enemy during the one-shot, one-opportunity game. It raises a person's defense drastically. Bong Bong, a device that resembles a fairy that enables teleportation. Ha-Yura's Suitcase, a special lighthouse awarded to Ha-Yura for winning a previous workshop battle. Hell Express, a master of the workshop originally made the Hell Express and its train guardians all for the purpose of training Zahard and the Great Warriors. Ignition Weapons. These are special weapons made with a special type of Shinsu or infused with a soul to grant it augmented powers once ignited. Lighthouse, a cube-like device embedded with many functions, essential for the light-bearer position. Name Hunt Station's Floating Island, the stage where the festival at the Name Hunt Station takes place. It was commissioned by the request of the 10 Great Families. It possesses an invisible mode that remains active until the start of the festival. Its walls are very sturdy and no regular can break them. Pockets. The basic types of pockets, the round types, are created by the workshop. Prison for high rankers. Prisons specially made by the workshop to subdue high rankers. Prisoners are held in huge columns with white-yellow cylinders protruding on the outside and inside. Also, their bodies are encircled by white-yellow strands. Zahard's army used these prisons to hold White and Karaka. Segregation drug, a special substance devised by the workshop in collaboration with FUG. According to Urek Mizuno, it is able to separate a parasite such as the red thrissa from its host. Train City's Maze. A disciple from the workshop created a maze located in Train City Stadium that can be used as an emergency exit to escape from the stadium. It was specially created so that no ordinary person could ever pass through it. Even a guide of Warion's level couldn't get through it in one try. Weapons. The workshop creates weapons by mixing substances/materials/living beings like ores, Shinhyu or humans, together with Shinsu. If a person is skilled at handling Shinsu, they'll be able to create better weapons. White Heavenly Mirror, an item created by the workshop researcher IO as a reward for shooting the most people with light bullet and sending them up to Archimedes in the one-shot, one-opportunity game. It possesses 3 hidden abilities, and only its owner can use them. K9 Device. After defeating and capturing Baylord Doom, Baylord Yama faced the problem no longer having access to Doom's special power to create new K9s. To fix this, Yama handed Doom over to the workshop, who began researching him in order to figure out a method to allow them to access Doom's ability to share his power and create more K9 people. After some time, the workshop was finally able to figure out a method and created a machine using Doom's as the core, siphoning his power and allowing whoever uses the device to transform regular humans into more K9 people of their choice. Using this machine, Yama created a new generation of K9s loyal to him. Yama would also create the Combat Dogs, a new sub-race of K9s that were essentially mindless slaves that lived to fight for their masters in order to satisfy FUG and avoid having to use the actual K9 people as soldiers to fight for their wars. Rule-breaking beings. As shown, the workshop have also been working on a project on creating beings that are able to break, bend, or be exempted from the rules of the tower. As shown where workshop had successfully created for such beings who are able to ignore, bend, or manipulate a certain rule and use a special ability that allows them to do so. Although unknown if the Zardhard army had commissioned their creation, all 4 of these beings were made into the new high-ranked officers of the new 4th Army Corps under Pabidal Liebert Kun after he was made the new commander. Due to the nature of their special abilities, it was stated that their bodies are inherently unstable and they could die at any time, resulting in their creators using a special method to extend their lives. The beings created are Arya. Possesses the special ability that allows her to defy the rule everyone must perceive time in the same way, the Broken Watch, allowing her to manipulate and alter another's perception of time. Lo Pubia Ureo. Possessed the special ability that allows him to defy the unofficial rule that states that the Ari swordsmanship cannot be caught. Ureo himself is the result of mixing together various items with catching abilities and fusing them with humans, granting him the ability to catch anything using his hands. Ureo has also demonstrated the ability to grow additional hands to further extend the range of his catching ability. Unnamed Three-Mouth Giant. Unnamed Black Skin Division Commander. This man was stated to possess a special body that allows him to defy the rule that only a single being may exist in one body. This special ability works in tandem with the spell of immortality. which allows him to absorb the other three subjects of this experiment when they die due to the unstable nature of their bodies due to their special abilities, and revive them by expelling them from his body after they recover from within him. Additionally, it's been implied that once he absorbs them, he is granted access to their special abilities. Enkidu. In the ancient past, when the 10 family heads and their companions were climbing the tower, they had come across and met up the father of the workshop. He would in particularly promise to give the family heads gifts, things he would personally create at their request. One of these gifts was owed to Lopobia Tremirii, who did not ask for anything in that time, causing the father of the workshop to hold off in giving his gift until after he had completed his climb. While he was having his floating palace constructed, Tremirii would express his desire to have a creature that was nothing by itself, but could become anything to Pobida Gustang, who was in contact with the workshop. Passing along this desire to the workshop, the father of the workshop then created such a creature for Tremirii. This creature, who would later take on the name Enkidu, had the ability to shapeshift into any being it desired and replicate their voice, behavior, and mannerism. It also had the additional ability to possess the bodies of males and make it their own, similar to a parasite. SIU has stated that no one knows the origin of the workshop because it is the workshop's ultimate goal to find this origin. In Korean, this can also be translated as no one knows where all creation comes from because it is the ultimate goal of all creation to find its own origin. To avoid mispronunciation of the name, the O in gong is a long O, as in four, or en chord. It is not pronounced like the percussion instrument. Bang is not pronounced like the sound a gun would make. The A is a short A, as in farm or ma.